Well, I think the easy answer is obviously Stuart Skinner, right? You know, you look at the way that he's stabilized the crease for the Oilers this season. He's come in, provided really consistent goaltending. He's got like a 9-11 save percentage or something of the ilk, and his numbers have been consistent all season long. And I think that's what, the Oilers had kind of been lacking for so long in net, right? Like we would get these great spurts from either Mikko Koskinen or Mike Smith, but they can never really seem to sustain it for long periods of time. And Stuart Skinner, he's had a couple of blips here or there, but I mean, this guy's come in as a rookie this season and he's looked absolutely tremendous. Now, in saying that, I think I'm going with Mr. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Mr. 100.
Oh.
Yeah, I knew you'd love that one. I mean, I think it's a pretty easy answer in the same breath too, right? I mean, you look at the fact that he's put up 100 points now in his 12th season in the NHL. He's like the fifth or the sixth player to do it in like his season 12 or later at his point in his career to like score his first 100-point season. The Oilers power play, it doesn't operate the same without Ryan Nugent Hopkins, right? It's been at a historic clip again this season, and I just think Nuge is such a huge part of the success that this team has right now.
I love that. And just since you touched on the power play, working with Nugent Hopkins, Jonathan Willis, friend of the nation, says, sometimes I hear that RNH is riding the McDavid Draisaitl coattails on the power play. Not so. Here are those two over the last 3 seasons at 5-on-4 on the power play with and without Ryan Nugent Hopkins. When Nugent Hopkins is on the ice, the Oilers are scoring 13.6 goals per hour on the power play. Without, that almost gets halved to 7.5 goals per hour on the power play. Nuge has always been a PP wizard, even going back to his days with the Red Deer Rebels. No surprises continuing this year. Just this year, that power play is on fire. All 3 of those guys are getting good touches, good looks. Tyler, you're up next. Who is your Oilers MVP if we're taking out Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I think Nuge is a fine answer. I think Leon Draisaitl would be a fine answer. I mean, the guy's having the 4th most productive season of this century, and it's not over yet. Like, if he gets 6 points in his final 3 games, he's going to finish with 129. And the only other player this century who's gotten more than 129 points is Connor McDavid. So, and he's doing it right now. Like, it's crazy the season Draisaitl's having, but I'm actually going to go with Stuart Skinner. Zach, you talked about the consistencies. Today, I broke down his season into 10-game stretches. So the first 10 games, 921 save percentage. Then it was a 905. 911, 904, 915. The goals against average only went above 3 in one of those 10-game stretches this year. How many years have we sat here on podcasts and in articles being like, if only the Oilers could get consistent 905 to 915 goaltending, they'd be a playoff team. They'd be winning divisions. They'd be a cup contender. And sure as shit, Stuart Skinner's given them exactly what they need, which is consistent 905 to 915 play. He's having a great year, an unexpected year when you consider Jack Campbell's start to the year and how rocky that was. For Skinner to be playing lights out at that same time and give the Oilers a stable number 1 is huge. And I think, listen, if you took Leon Draisaitl off this team, the Oilers might not be a playoff team either. But if you took Stuart Skinner off this team, they might not be a playoff team. So I think for me, it's close between Draisaitl and Skinner, but I give the edge to Stu just because of the importance of his position.